Hey everybody, Brian here, and let me start by saying I can't express just how grateful I am to the workforce as a community here on YouTube. I want to say a very profound thank you just to you for just watching this video. It seriously means the world to me. When we first started doing YouTube 3 years ago this past August, I couldn't have imagined that we'd be sitting here now over 46,000 subscribers. When Chris and I started making videos, we started with just a simple podcast. And even though that was a lot of fun, it really needed a lot of work. But now we're able to make a lot of different content, from guides to podcasts to discussions and even news posts. It's even gotten to the point where we've been told to slow down posting so many videos. And so I want to take this time and I want to make this video to share with you something very personal. I wanted to give you an update on the channel and our thoughts, as we were wont to do from time to time. I also want to get your thoughts too. If you don't feel like sharing your thoughts in the comments below, you can always just reach out to me over Discord. You can DM me and share privately if you want to do. But obviously, without further ado, let's dive into this very special channel update. I still haven't figured out how to do a good echo effect while editing, so still plenty to learn. I started this video expressing my gratitude because I am truly grateful for everything that this community has done for Chris and I here. We've been able to go out to the media tour, we've been able to bring our concerns before Yoshi P himself, and it wouldn't have happened if you all didn't hit that subscribe button. But beyond all of that, I want to talk to you today about 3 things about what it means to work to game. 2.5 years ago, I announced that I started my own company, and for the last 2.5 years, I have been working like crazy, learning like crazy, and becoming a better software engineer each and every day. In this video, I do want to focus on 3 aspects of my life in a very personal way. First, my work, then my family, and third, my health. On work. This past summer, I completed a few contracts, and I was given a choice. I could either go out and find more contracts, or I could take a risk. I'm here today to tell you that I've chosen to take a risk. I originally thought that I would work on making my game. Every gamer has a game that they'd like to make, and I'm no different. But in thinking about it, I ended up deciding that I was going to make some software first. I feel that this can actually help some real companies that I've worked with and around with first, and namely, I think it's a way that I can also turn it into an asset that can help provide for my family before I focus on making my actual game. This is a risk because I've decided to not only work less hours on contract each and every month to provide for my family, and to spend the rest of my remaining time building out my software. This has been both challenging and exhilarating for me. But after 1 month of doing this, I can easily see that there is a massive amount of technical debt that is still needed to get this software finished. I'm going to have to make some adjustments in my time, and that's why I also want to talk to you guys today about live streaming here in just a little bit. On family. I'm sorry, I just think that's funny. Now, I've got the best family in the world. My wife, 2 daughters, my son, and baby number 4 coming at the end of November. Julie and I have always wanted to have a large family, and we're still growing. You've seen my kids on stream from time to time. You even see my wife has joined me for a stream or 2. But we're about to have even more changes with baby number 4, and with the kids starting school. For me, my family is my number 1 priority, and this brings me kind of the big item, my health. Dun. Nothing to be afraid of here. I thought about doing the echo, but I don't want anybody to be afraid. Last year, I was able to drop over 40 pounds, and it was awesome, and I felt great. This year, I hope to do the same, but I'm actually back up 25 pounds. Over the last few weeks, I restarted my workouts, and I'm planning on doing more running once the temperature here in Texas isn't so crazy dangerous. But when I factor in the first 2 things, work and family, working out is a function of time and priority. So the best way to make it a priority is for me to make it the first thing I do each day. So I've been starting my workouts around 5 a.m. And needless to say, by the time 8 p.m. rolls around, I'm exhausted. And having had such a long day, the good and healthy thing to do is for me just to go to sleep. Results are already starting to show, but it's a journey and one that I can't afford to lose. The best way to love my family is to be there for them, and the best way to try to make that happen, obviously no guarantees of course, is to be the correct weight, which has me needing to lose 80 pounds. So what does all this mean for content and for live streams? Let me say again, thank you for everyone who's been there, who's watched a video, who's hit that join button on our YouTube page. It really does mean a lot for me. And if you're not already aware, due to me being exhausted at 8 p.m., I just can no longer stream in the evening. This doesn't mean that you won't see me from time to time, but if I am going to stream, it's going to be during the day. And as for the content, well, over the last 3 years, honestly, I've fallen so much in love with making videos. I don't plan on slowing down anytime soon. However, one thing I do see that YouTube and some people believe is that we are a Final Fantasy XIV channel. And while I don't ever see myself not talking about Final Fantasy XIV, I have to continue to say that's not what we are. We've never been that, and we have to keep refuting it, but I get it. Like, I love the game. But I also want to talk about other games too. So, hopefully that's fine. Now, for YouTube, it's pretty clear that they understand that we are a Final Fantasy XIV video, and thus that's pretty much what they will recommend. The only thing, and where this becomes a major concern, is that when people are asking when X Guide will be out, when that guide's already been published. So it started to tell me that sometimes people aren't getting notified of our new videos, and they're not necessarily seeing them when they go live. Now, we've gone in and tried to make this even easier for people by including the relevant playlists listed as the third line under our videos. And while we're still updating our past catalog, hopefully this is going to help people find what they're looking for on the channel, being that we produce so much content. The other update on content is quality. Like I said, we're not a Final Fantasy XIV channel, so if you haven't seen our latest Let's Discuss videos, no worries, but you should totally check them out. This past weekend, I lost my voice, so I got to sit down and really put my thoughts on paper. And when my voice returned, I got to sit down and really make the video the best that I could try and make it. And that's what I really want to focus on here to Work the Game. I want to try to make the best guides that I can, and I want to try to make the most interesting discussion topics I can make. Along with the podcast and bringing in interesting guests and having interesting conversations around games, and obviously the highlights channel, which I'll talk about here in a little bit, I have my work cut out for me, so please wish me luck. Now, I also started my own personal channel. It's called Ginger Prime, in which I'll try to post, a couple times a week over there. Now, in kind of a more conversational or off-the-cuff style. Who really knows, really? I'm still trying to figure out what it means and what kind of, videos I want to post over there, but that's kind of a fun little aside project in that regards. So if you if you feel like it, please check that out. Let me know what you think. I'm really interested in the feedback. I guess the most awesome comment I got was really somebody felt like it was kind of a return to what Work the Game started out being, because it's a little bit more raw, a little bit more personal, obviously, less edited in that regards, but to each their own. I'm always just trying to come up with interesting ways to present the information, and that's one of the most fun things about creating videos for YouTube. So again, I say thank you. Thank you guys for just being you and being here a part of the workforce. People have been asking what is the best way they can actually support the channel. And the best way is to watch our videos. Even if you don't feel like it, like if it's not a topic, if you're leaving the house, feel free to hit play. Every view helps, all the watch time really helps us out. So no pressure, no worries on doing that. Obviously, if you watch our videos and you enjoy them and you share them out, thank you, thank you, thank you. That is what apparently YouTube really loves to see. Now, it really does mean the world to me, and I am so humbled by the generosity this community has shown both Chris and I. Your support fuels us to try and make the most interesting content on the internet, and while we're not there yet, it's something that I'm always going to be striving towards. On a final note, for those of you who are asking how you guys can go above and beyond just watching the videos, let me stress this is not a requirement anyway, at all, but the simplest answer I can give is just hit that join button here on YouTube. YouTube has added the ability for us to have levels of membership, which we've taken that up and added a $1 tier for anyone who is interested in. We've had a goal of trying to get 100 members, and we're getting close to it, so thank you to everyone who's supporting us beyond in that way. But beyond that, we really do hope you subscribe to our podcast highlights channel, like I mentioned earlier. It's been a blast making those highlights, and we have a goal of trying to get that to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Now, if you haven't seen it, link is in the description. It really goes a long way. We really hope you enjoy because, again, it's taking the podcast, but it's condensing it into the various different subjects and topics, trying to make it a little bit easier and more digestible for you guys. And so, anyway, always feedback is always appreciated. Now, that wraps it up for this channel news update. while we're working on guides for WoW Classic, Gears 5, Final Fantasy XIV, Lost Ark, and more. Obviously with the podcast and more to come. If you've watched just one of our videos, or if you've watched all of them, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. It really does mean the world to me. Kind of going back to the work thing, as a part of that, like YouTube, you know, it doesn't pay us much, but it, you know, like a couple $100 every month kind of does help ease the budget a little bit, and it does allow me to kind of sit back and be able to play games and things like that, because obviously it's a good mental break from the work, because they are so kind of different in that regards. So it really does actually help me produce probably the best code that I've produced in years. But that's just where it's at. So thank you for watching the videos, because that just is everything to me. And then for anybody who's actually hit that join button, who's ever supported us financially, that helps out so much, especially now that I'm relying on it a little bit more. Obviously, we're not full time. This is work to game. I'm working, but that extra money has helped out a lot, and I really appreciate you, each and every one of you. And so anyway, like I said, if you need to, hit me up on Discord, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up. Let me know if you want to share something and you don't want to share it publicly. Otherwise, I look forward to reading your comments, below. You guys are the best community on the internet. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. Anyway, love you. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Terry, get the camera! Terry, get... Oh, there you go. All right. I think we have a very great treat for you today, folks. I, Steve Irwin, have located a Montfort in its natural habitat. Come. All right. Now hold it right there. We have to be very, very careful. These creatures, the Montforts, do not like to be disturbed. They can be very vicious when they're disturbed. So come on, be very, very quiet. All right, here we go. Right through here, I believe. Yep, right there. There it is. All right, now, as you can see, it has overgrown facial hair around the mouth, but nowhere else. Odd, isn't it? So you can see the enlarging ears have been reddened by the day's work. Now, I think it smells something. I wonder what could it be? Perhaps it's lunch, or maybe it thinks it's something. Oh God, it's us! Oh, run, Terry! Run, Terry! Terry, get out of here! Get out of here quickly, Terry!